What's up, you guys? So I am back with my sister with an update on Wendy Williams. What's up, sis? How you doing?
How you doing, sis?
We're here with more details about the situation with Wendy Williams. The last I reported was when Wendy Williams was transported to a hospital, and they said that she was suffering from psychiatric issues. That a woman who was 57 years old, who lived in Wendy's building, who basically fit the description of Wendy Williams, was suffering from psychiatric issues. Now, the last her team reported was that she was suffering from COVID. They've never actually acknowledged the news reports that she had some type of psychiatric episode and had to be transported to the hospital. But now more details are coming out about that episode, about that psychiatric episode, and her being transported to the hospital. So the Sun reports Wendy in crisis. Wendy Williams was, quote, drinking every day before hospitalization for, quote, end quote, psychiatric issues and needs serious help. And they report Wendy Williams is in need of serious help and was drinking every day after it was revealed that she was hospitalized for psychiatric issues, according to a source. The daytime host, who has pushed back the season premiere of The Wendy Williams Show by 2 weeks, was, quote, drinking every day even while filming the show. That's when an insider exclusively told The Sun. The source added that staffers have said that they would smell the liquor on her. And they said, quote, everyone is an enabler because they don't want to lose their job. They see it, they know it, they smell the liquor. They said Wendy Williams, who had previously opened up about her struggles with sobriety, checked into a sober living house in 2019 after filing for divorce from Kevin Hunter, her husband of 20 years. Despite that, the source said, quote, Wendy drinks every day, and the only time she was sober was when she was at the sober house. Her staffers are worried, but no one is ever going to speak up because they don't want to lose their jobs. She's an alcoholic, a bad one. She doesn't need a talk show, she needs help. So that goes back to what DJ Booth had said in this comment section when someone had commented about Wendy Williams having some type of addiction, and DJ Booth had basically confirmed it. I know he did a video recently and said he doesn't want to be, basically associated with predicting Wendy Williams' downfall, but it is what it is, and this is what he said. And so someone had commented, Wendy, you need to stop your show and seriously get help. Your camp is just watching you spiral instead of sending help. Shame on them. I'll be boycotting the show until you get checked into rehab. Drugs will kill you. Please get help. And DJ Booth responded and said, yup, exactly. And it will all come out. Y'all have no idea what's really going on. And everyone there is afraid to speak up because they don't want to lose their jobs. This is going to play out bad. I feel sorry for the workers and victims. Have a blessed day. So the part where he says that people there are aware of her addiction, that you can smell the alcohol on her, basically, according to the article, the other source. And then DJ Booth confirms that people there know she's an alcoholic, but don't want to lose their jobs. To me, that's heartbreaking. Sis, what do you think about people knowing she's an alcoholic, but not doing anything about it because they don't want to lose their jobs?
Well, first of all, I think that is the dumbest thing ever because wouldn't you be afraid either way you would lose your jobs? Because if this situation leads to a very traumatic event, you don't have your job. How would your conscience sit if it went that far as to a demise or anything like that, God forbid,
Right.
versus you just losing your job and you just getting another job?
And I feel like at this point, like if I worked for the Wendy Show, I would get another job. I would try my hardest to find another job because if you are putting your job ahead of someone's life, like people die from addictions. And if you're putting your job ahead of someone's life, then that's a problem. That's a problem. And like you said, it should be on your conscience.
Exactly. I'm disappointed in her staff. I'm disappointed that they have become or are yes people and don't have the independence to think for themselves or to even care for Wendy herself outside of being a talent.
So they're also reporting that Wendy lives alone and is lonely, and that's part of her problem. A source told Page Six that, quote, it's been a very difficult time for Wendy. She's a single woman with very few friends. She lost her marriage, her mom, and is living alone. There's a lot on her plate. And so the demise of her marriage, people are starting to realize the demise of her marriage impacted her in a way where it seems like she's having a difficult time recovering. And it seems like Kevin Hunter, as much as people hated him, it seems like part of what he did was possibly keep Wendy sober. And now that he's gone, she's struggling with her sobriety. That's what it looks like from the outside looking in. And so the Sun, when they posted the article about Wendy Williams, they said that she was having a psychiatric issue, that she was having a psychiatric issue, and that's why she was being transported to the hospital. But it should be noted that drug addiction, alcohol and drug addiction, is also considered like a psychiatric issue, like a mental illness. And according to the National Institute on Drug Abuse, drug addiction, which alcohol is a drug addiction is classified as a mental illness because addiction changes the brain in fundamental ways, disturbing a person's normal hierarchy of needs and desires, and substituting new priorities connected with procuring and using drugs. And it looks like that's what's happening with Wendy Williams. It looks like it is, technically, when they say psychiatric, like technically it is psychiatric, but at the same time, alcohol and drug addiction is a mental illness. So when the source says that Wendy Williams is home and lonely, that's kind of not surprising because even when she used to film from home, it used to be kind of depressing. Like the episodes that she filmed in her home, she would be on screen looking lonely. At some point, she would even cry. And so the reports of her being so lonely that she's just turning to alcohol, they're not surprising. They're sad, but to me, they're not surprising. And I'm concerned about Wendy Williams' health in a way, the same way I was concerned about Whitney. I'll put it that way. I don't want to speak on the end of anyone's life, but I will say I'm concerned about her in the same way that I was concerned about Whitney. What about you, sis?
It definitely brings Whitney back to mind, this whole situation, but I pray to God that this can go in reverse and
Yeah.
not lead down that same road.
Wendy's brother did make a statement on his YouTube. He said that Wendy's stabilized, she's doing all right. And he said, I can't give all the blow by blows. I told her I'll never perceive her voice through the show. But I do thank you for all the kind words. I really do believe and have the faith that Wendy's going to make it. And he's speaking as if this is just COVID. He said it's not an easy fight. It's not one that individuals always win. Sadly, come November, we are on the anniversary of my mother passing. And he said, it's not easy. This isn't easy, but it's necessary. But he went on to say, but she's doing well. She's stable. I've spoken with her. We are hanging in there. She's hanging in there. So you guys, leave a comment and let me know what you think about the situation with Wendy Williams now that it's coming out that it is her alcohol addiction. Her alcohol addiction is resurfacing. And that is one of the things that she's going through now. It seems like the COVID, as we suspected, the COVID is a secondary issue, if it's a real issue at all. But it does seem that it's her alcohol addiction resurfacing, and sources are confirming that. Leave a comment and let us know what you think. As always, thanks for watching.